Hey, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you all the different map nodes that you can find in Slime Rancher 2 right now. Okay, so right now I am at the main entrance of the conservatory, and here is the main entrance to the Rainbow Fields. We're just going to go through here, past all these cute pink slimes, and in a second we're going to have this big open area with all the cotton slimes. And now we're just going to go through here, and as you follow this, there's going to be a map node right here. So let's just activate that, and it's going to be right here on the map. Once that is done, we're just going to follow the same path up here, past the refinery link that you see, and you can already see the second map node and the last one for Rainbow Fields up there. So we are just going to follow this road under the bridge, and over here you have this little place that you can go up. Just follow that all the way up, and here you have the second and last map node for Rainbow Fields. Okay, so where do we start our journey? I just went through the teleporter. I'm standing right next to it. The entire map is still a fog, but let's just immediately get our very first one. Now, the very first one is immediately a little bit of jumping, so we are just going to follow this pathway. We're going to jump on these little rocks and then use our energy to get back up here and up here. So right now we are on this wall around the teleporter, and here we can see the coral crusted tide pools area. Now our very first map node is right there, so as you can see. So what we do now is just we're going to jump down a little bit. We're going to stand on these rocks to get some altitude if we can, or not, and then we're just going to hover towards this one over here. Now, once we are over here, I do like to climb a little bit on these rocks. So we are a little bit higher and we're going to need a little bit less energy. And then we're just going to start hovering over there. And 3, 2, 1. Here we are already. So we already got like a good third of the map. That's really great. Next, we are actually just going to return. We're going to go immediately back to the teleporter. So we're just going to fly back over here. Now, if you actually have a hunter plort, which you can find a little bit later on, you can actually shoot it in this statue, and then you will have a much easier time to get back to the teleporter, but it's still pretty fine over here, because you can just use this little ramp. So, map node number 2, we are once again beginning next to the teleporter. Okay, so from the teleporter, we're just going to follow this path along, and here we have this little area from the trailer. There is even a tunnel in that river over there, but no, we are just going to follow up this hill. We are no longer on the map that's visible, unfortunately, but we're just going to follow along the way. And we're going to go through this little, mountainous area. Here we have a lot of tar slimes. If you see this, you're on the right path. We're going to take a left. We're going to go through here, down this little ramp. Once again, a little bit of an open area. We're going to take once again another left. Over here, we actually often have some feral slimes, or they're just hungry maybe. And once you're at this big central area with the big waterfall, we are at the right spot for the second one, because the second one is right across of it. So now we just want to get up this little ramp next to this cuberry tree probably. Use our hover pack, get it up, and we immediately have our second map node. Okay, now we got our second one. We're going to go to the waterfall. Just head towards the waterfall past the tar. And then once we are standing in front of the waterfall, we're going to go take a right through this little area from the trailer. There are so many tar in this game, seriously. And just, hover from little island to island. Once here, we're going to take a U-turn, go up this log, exactly the same thing as in the trailer. Float up, and just keep climbing. Just follow this, and over here we have at this big tree that we saw in a lot of screenshots. Once we are at this tree, you see this little shape over here. We're going to go through that. So right next to it, down this log, and follow this little path to these mushroom forest place. There are a lot of hunter slimes, base slimes here. So if you want some hunter slimes, it's going to be a lot easier in Slime Rancher 2 than it was in Slime Rancher 1. Either way, from there we're going to go left, up this little mountain, through this little U-shaped ruins. Go up this little mountain. It's a little bit of a path, not gonna lie. There are probably a few shortcuts, but this was probably the easiest one to follow. And then we come over here to this area with the Flutter Gorder over there, big wall, whatever it may be. And now we are just going to go down. And now you are really going to be happy that you have your hover pack and a few energy upgrades, hopefully. So over here, we are just going to come up this wall, up this pillar, and we want to get to the Flutter Gordo at this point. So wait for energy, and then we are just going to go up. And here we are at the Flutter Gordo. Now, here we actually have the favorite food of the Flutter Slime, and of course the Gordo. Let's pick that up for later. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get past this little corner over here. Now, I'm going to cheat, and I'm actually going to use our Flutter Gordo over here as a bouncing pad. We're going to stand on his head, and then we're just going to hover on top of the trees. So if you can get on this tree, that's perfect. Once you're on this tree, you're already golden. Right now, you just want to jump on this thing over here. So let's just get up there, and we are pretty much on top of the world. And now we just want to go down, and there is going to be this little edge on the right side. Get down here, and here you find your map node. So we're just going to click on that, and here you can see there's going to be a dirt map mode right here, and we have unlocked the entire map for Starlight Strand. Okay, so we're going to start like we always do, right next to the teleporter to the Rainbow Fields. From there, we're just going to fall down, or drop down, fall down, and we are going to follow the road. So the first one that we are going to look for is in a big open area. So just follow this ramp up, and once we are up, we are going to take another ramp up. We are going to be constantly climbing. Now, guys, I have to be honest. I don't know if you already have the hover pack, but you really need it. Basically, getting to any of these is basically impossible without. But yeah, that's a challenge. Go ahead. So the very first one is right over there on that ledge. So let's just hover over there. And let's just get him immediately. So he is in the middle right over here in this big central area. So what we just did is we went from the teleporter. We just followed along, went up a few ramps to kind of gain some altitude. And then just got to this big central area with that pillar with a hole inside. Now from here, we actually need to go both ways. So I'm going to first go right, but afterwards we're going to have to go left. So let's just go to this big mountainous area over here. And when we are at this fork, we're going to take a left. So we really want to climb up, and we want to head really deep into the mountains, much deeper. So once we cut around the corner, over here we actually have the Crystal Gordo. So we are already back in the fog, but once you actually found him, you are actually golden because our map node is right over there on that ledge. So what you can actually do is just climb on top of the Crystal Gordo, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hover towards this ledge behind them. And now that we are here, we are actually basically already at the best altitude. So we're just going to hover around this corner to this little grassy area, and over here you immediately have yourself the second map data node. There are also some pomegranates over here, and a lot higher there are going to be even more. From here, we are going to just go back from where we came. So let's just go back once again to our Crystal Gordo friend. And from here, we can just go back the way we came until we're back at the very first map data node point. So we can just jump over here, I think. Okay, so once we're back in this big open area where we found the very first map data point, we just want to head in that direction with all the lava. So just go in that direction. Over here you will actually find this little, archway. Just go under it, follow this path, which is probably made of sand or ash. And here you just need to be a little bit careful with the feral boom slimes. I prefer to go a little bit higher. It's a little bit safer, unless you step into the lava like I did. I'm just going to jump on this big pillar. You don't really need to follow the exact route that I go, but we just need to go over here. So I'm just going to jump up here, once again on this archway. Once we are here, we are really close because the data point is right over there on this big pillar. Now, if you actually are down there, you actually have this geyser to get up here. So let's just go over here. We can actually walk on this little ledge, if I'm not mistaken. That almost went south really fast. And from this ledge, we can just hover to our last data point. So we actually have one here, one right over here, and then one which was kind of about here. And that's the location of all map nodes. Next up, we should probably talk about all those hidden treasure pods in the rainbow fields. I will explain all that in this video right here, but don't click on it just yet. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on everything Slime 2 related. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.